Hello there and welcome to another inspiring episode of You Were There. I am glad to be your host today, and together we will be taking an insightful look into the world of orphans, their challenges and their plight. But we will also be looking at the incredible joy and help that have been brought to them by our benevolent, selfless and dear partners. With your help, CBN has been able to support over 4,000 orphans in Nigeria alone. That's over 4,000 changed lives, over 4,000 potentially bright futures, all thanks to you. Well, let's not keep you waiting. Let's get into our first story for today. Meet some happy, fulfilled orphans who are under the care of loving parents. However, the story was different a while back before CBN's Orphans Promise came to their rescue. Take a look.
Here in Lungi off the coast of Sierra Leone, life is very difficult. People struggle to survive on very little. It's especially hard for abandoned children. Pastor Jacob and his wife Fatu have taken almost 24 needy children into their home. Orphans and neglected children all find a safe place here. But they live in just 3 small rooms in a rented house. At night, the children sleep on thin grass mats on the floor. When Orphans Promise heard about their need, we knew we had to do something for Jacob and the kids. So we built them a brand new home, big enough for all of them. The kids couldn't wait to get inside to look around. For many of them, this would be the very first time they slept in a bed. They were all excited, but it was especially heartwarming to see the little girls jumping on their new beds. They all got an extra surprise when we went into the living room and they saw their new TV. Now they'll be able to watch great Christian programs like CBN's Superbook, and they have room to run around and play outside. Today, these once forgotten children live in the nicest home in the village.
Now that we are going to have a new home, it makes me feel good because I know my children have been sleeping on the bare floor with mat. Now each of them will be having bed, well prepared, a very good home. So I feel so happy and so joyful about that. Yeah.
Because of your gifts to Orphans Promise and CBN, these children have a safe place to grow up.
This has been a very important day here as we've celebrated the opening of this children's home. The kids have a safe place to live where they're loved and cared for. This center means hope for them. They know that this place will change their lives. And to all of you who made this possible, they have something they'd like to say to you. Kids?
A big thank you to our CBN partners. The joy on the children's faces says it all, and I know they will continually pray for you. Coming up next on the program is the story of 2 adorable twin girls, Mabel and Bethel, who would have been killed due to some cultural practices. But you, our CBN partners, saved the day.
Mabel and Bethel are happy 4-year-old twins. They live together at the children's home built by CBN's Orphans Promise. Their parents are Christians, but in this remote part of Nigeria, tribal superstition says that twins are a curse.
When our twins were born, I loved them immediately, and my wife loved them too. But we knew if we kept them, they would be killed. When I heard of that place, I didn't know how I would get the money to pay for my girls to live there. Then I learned the people who run it are Christians like me and doing a service for the Lord. They rescued my daughters for free. That touched me in a way I cannot explain.
The home is run by Gloria and her husband, Shola. Together, they've taken in more than 60 children.
I imagine a lot. I can see doctors among them, medical doctors. I can see lawyers. I can see pastors. I can see them going back to their villages where we rescued them from as a voice for God, for the gospel, to change those practices, that we have been struggling with.
The girls are just happy to have pets and a home to call their own. Living here, they have a chance to a good future and they still spend time with their parents.
When I see my twins, my heart absolutely melts. At that home, they are healthy and well cared for. That makes me very happy. Thank you.
Wonderful is an understatement. Mabel and Bethel, we are so happy that you got a place to stay where you are safe and cared for. And thank you to all the amazing partners of CBN who made it possible, not just for Mabel and Bethel, but for countless other orphans to find refuge in a hostile world. You Were There continues shortly.
I'm Ekere Ufumamowo. My family and I joined the 700 Club a couple of years ago.
My name is Dr. Sakimbe and I'm a member of 700 Club.
My name is Tona Adaba. I'm a member of 700 Club.
I'm Babatunde Oladapo. I joined the 700 Club in 2014.
I am Pastor Rabi Ibrahim. I joined 700 Club in 2007.
The need to reach the unreached with the word of God and to give potable water to rural communities and to put smiles on the faces of widows and orphans in those communities drove us to join the 700 Club.
I'm so glad I joined 700 Club and I'm going to remain a partner because helping the less privileged is one of my passions and my drive.
I love being a member of 700 Club because I love putting smiles on people's faces.
My major motivation for joining the 700 Club is the opportunity to touch lives. Whenever I see smiles on people, it gives me satisfaction.
So many souls have been touched. The downtrodden, the wretched, hopeless became hopeful. Testimonies here and there. It's actually wonderful to be a part of Christian Broadcasting Network, more especially as a 700 Club partner.
Welcome back. One of the must-have gifts in life is the gift of beautiful human relationships, support systems that work with you to achieve great things. One person can touch 1,000 lives, but two can touch 10,000 lives because together we are stronger. Here at the Christian Broadcasting Network, we have been blessed with a number of these support systems, and we call them partners. This next story is about one of them.
What I love about the club is that where I cannot go to reach people, I think money should be able to do something about it. And I felt touched with the lives of people the 700 Club touches various parts of the world. I have a passion to help the needy people, to help those that are not really privileged as I do. The very small children that the 700 Club help to have surgery for, to make them beautiful. Provision of potable water in areas where they could have waterborne diseases. Provision of glasses for people that have eye problem like cataracts. Orphans are offered education. You can never tell where they will reach in the future. So these are some of the things I love about the 700 Club. By the grace of God, I want to be a member for life as long as God gives me breath to contribute my quota to the less privileged people.
You heard from the woman herself. Thank you, Mrs. Ejeride. I would like to add that the work CBN is doing is only possible because well-meaning hearts have committed to the vision of changing the world one life at a time. But there are still more lives to be touched, more souls to be saved, more healing and joy to be brought to people, more stories to be told, much more work to be done. If you will only partner with us today, you will be setting the stage for someone's prayer to be answered. With as little as 500 naira, 1,000 naira or more, you can join us in this noble cause. All you have to do is say yes and contact us through any of our details on the screen or make a one-time donation to our account. We'll be waiting to hear from you.
Life is a gift, and it offers us the privilege, opportunity, and responsibility to give something back as we become more. Many women, children, and families are suffering and in need, wondering where the next meal will come from. Lend a helping hand today. Be the strength when others are weak. Be the smile where others frown. Be the joy when there is so much pain. Be more. Join the 700 Club. Lend a helping hand to someone today.
Cheerful little children. Wondering why the smiles? The answer is not far-fetched, as children from these orphanages just received visitors from the humanitarian arm of the Christian Broadcasting Network. But why would the team decide to spend a working day at an orphanage?
Our work is actually out there. The four walls of the office only provides us a place where we can sit down and plan what we want to do out in the field.
Usually we do that once in a while to fulfill the calling that is upon us, and we feel it's God-led.
From the office to the market, one shop to another, the CBN staff left no stone unturned as they made preparations for the visit.
Right now, we're at Wuse Market, where all the shopping is going on. Come along. Can you tell us what's happening here?
We're trying to put things together, provision and other food stuff to take to Rachel's orphanage.
During the visit, the children of Rachel's Home for Orphans and Vulnerable Children performed in songs, dance, and recitations to entertain their visitors. Mrs. Rachel Alaje is the founder of this orphanage.
I started giving out this dream November 1990. I was brought up as an orphan. I passed through a lot of stress. And I said that I'm going to help to shortcut the long journey which I passed through for some children that have similar issues with me.
I send this to you on behalf of Christian Broadcasting Network Africa.
The Christian Broadcasting Network presented the children with various items like foodstuff, clothes, school materials, and many more. The children also had enough to eat and drink. Mrs. Rachel was indeed grateful to the Christian Broadcasting Network for adding color to their day.
We are so happy, not just the material things that you people brought to us, but the spiritual touch. You can see how the children are so happy. They jump up, they eat and drink, and they are happy. Every one of us, we are happy. We are so excited. We say CBN will continue to grow from strength to strength. And all the staff of CBN, whatever is their heart desire, the Almighty God will grant it.
And the little ones had something to say.
I feel happy and I pray that God shall continue to bless the people.
The Almighty God continue to fill your pocket, fill your purse and your wallet in the mighty name of Jesus.
As your food smiles on our faces, smile shall never cease from your face in Jesus' name.
It was really fulfilling for staff of CBN to be part of these great talents.
I am blown away. These kids have really shown us a lot. I've seen little ones from as young as 1, 2 recite things, dance for us. It's been amazing.
For an onlooker, This may be another visit to an orphanage, but for these young ones, it is an experience that will always be remembered.
Thank you, CBN partners. Together, we continue to affect lives and put smiles on people's faces. Remember that together, we can still do more. The next story you're about to see is the story of little Debbie, whose parents died of AIDS. From then on, she had to fend for herself, doing odd jobs and endangering herself until God sent her a loving family and used CBN to ease their toils. Here is Debbie's story.
This is the way to be happy.
Just a few years ago, playing with her friends was not even an option for little Deborah. AIDS had claimed the lives of both her parents. To survive, she went from house to house asking to do odd jobs in exchange for food. Although she lived with relatives, she was pretty much left to fend for herself. Only 7 years old, Deborah was forced to carry heavy water containers over long distances for just a place to sleep.
Every day, I would make 8 trips to the stream, carrying a large basin on my head to fill drums of water. From the stream, I would go to the farm and work for the rest of the day.
And when there was no food,
I would pick corn and millets from the ground where the women were winnowing grain.
One day, a Christian missionary couple working in a nearby village found her at a garbage dump.
When I first saw her, I was touched because she was looking very thin, and then she wore a dress that was torn, and the dress couldn't even cover her body, it's just halfway like this, and I felt I should help her.
Even though they were poor themselves, Esther and her husband took the little girl in and gave her a home. But with a growing family of their own, they knew they would need some help. So Operation Blessing gave the family a grant to enable Deborah and the other children attend school. And we dug a well for the family, so none of the children would have to carry water long distances. Operation Blessing provided an emergency supply of food to the family to keep the children from getting malnourished. Finally, thanks to CBN partners, Operation Blessing provided them a new home-based business, a livestock farm that will allow them raise and sell pigs to generate funds for the family.
CBN has helped us very much because they took over the children from us after a year, and then they feed them, educate them, and then in the home too, CBN has helped us in setting up piggery, fishery, and they have given us a well. So we're very happy. We're all happy.
Thank you, CBN. I am so happy.
That story just touches my heart. Thank God for Debbie's new home and for his provision to them. May God continue to bless our partners for making this possible. Our next story takes us outside the shores of Nigeria. Watch this story of love.
Alyona was born with deformed legs. Her alcoholic parents barely even fed her, so her condition got worse every day. Without help, she would have wound up in a wheelchair if she survived childhood. When the Department of Social Services in Ukraine found out about her, they took her to Father's House, which is supported by Orphans Promise. She's well cared for and getting the help she needs to combat years of neglect. Because this is a Christian children's home, she's also learning how to pray.
I pray to God and ask Him for straight legs, so I can run and jump like the other kids. And I asked Him to send me a mommy and a daddy.
Orphans Promise has supported Father's House for years, so when Alyona came here and they saw that she needed surgery, they called us.
We paid for 2 different surgeries to fix Alyona's legs, so she can have the best chance possible at having a normal life.
I have already had surgery on one of my legs. I saw it was very straight when the doctors checked my cast.
The doctors hadn't yet started the second operation when a Christian couple came to Father's house.
We met Alona when she was getting ready for her next surgery. We spent time with her and liked her very much. So we got all our papers together and we adopted her and made her own daughter.
Alyona has been living with her new family for 2 years. She's a happy and bright 9-year-old. All of her prayers have been answered. She's healthy and she has parents who love her.
Thank you for giving our daughter the surgery she needed. May God reward you for all you have done for us.
My dreams came true thanks to you. I will always pray for you and thank God for you.
You are still watching You Were There. Some of our partners go to the field with us. Others send us on their behalf. Whichever is the case, the job is done, glory is returned to God, and we can proudly say, you were there. Right after this is our viewer feedback segment. Stay with us.
Oxman Celebasto says, I adore and respect what you all do in helping the less privileged. Keep it up.
Thank you for all your comments and support. Please keep them coming in. However, this is the much we can take on this episode of You Were There. Join us again next time. Until then, remember to show love to your world. God bless you.